I actually met someone who I'm wondering if was married or not. Questionable practices like conversion therapies. The director of my agency kind of wanted me to be very low-key, and I was like, in a way it was very awkward for me, but in the military law. And hey guys, so today's video is going to be about LGBT in Korea.
지금 뭐?
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below. So I noticed that my video about LGBT in Japan got a lot of views, and I got a lot of messages from you guys, and I was really happy that it kind of found its purpose. I really wanted to put this out there so people who had concern would actually have an outside of someone who has experienced it. So I'm really happy it reached some of you guys, and I decided for that reason that I should also share my personal experience in Korea, in Seoul. 1.5 years ago actually, I was living in Seoul in Korea for about 3 months. Oops. Again, I shall start with a disclaimer. This is all based on my personal experience and my personal observations and opinions. So the funny thing about Korea is that when you see all the idols, all these guys wearing makeup and wearing not only foundation but eyeliner and eyeshadow and everything, you'd think that they would be very open-minded and very free about sexuality in any kind and every part of LGBT, but that's not exactly the case. In my opinion, the main problem that I would say there is in Korea right now for LGBT is about visibility. It's pretty much there's no visibility, people don't know it exists. And I talk about it in my video about Japan, there's a similar kind of issue, is that it's almost people think it's something that exists in Western countries or that exists on foreigners, but they think it's something that doesn't exist among Korean people.
The lies! The lies!
For instance, one of my friends from Seoul visited Paris for Fashion Week lately, and we went to have a drink. And I mean, long story short, he was telling me yeah, I'm very open-minded. I had bisexual friends, gay friends. He said automatically that those were foreigner people, and I don't think he said it on purpose, but I think that is his mind. LGBT is foreigner. There is not necessarily Korean people who are part of LGBT. That's pretty much the global idea that I think a lot of people have in Korea even now. I mean, he probably knows it, but since every time LGBT was brought up, it was brought up about foreigners, in his unconscious, I'm guessing, that's how he coupled things. And yeah, I feel again, if you go there as a foreigner, your position will be very different and you'll be welcomed a very different way than a local. And this is what I call foreigner privileges in a way, because people already expect you to come with a different culture, a different way of living, and I think they would probably think that it's more about lifestyle than it is something inherited from you. So they're probably oh, it's okay, it's a foreigner. It must be really hard, I think, if you're a Korean and if you're part of any part of LGBT to be in this situation, because not only you thinking about coming out or not, but in case you do, you have to explain things to people. The funny thing also is that because there's like no awareness of like LGBT, people are like very comfortable being like extremely friendly, like some kind of behavior that you would only like see in a couple of among girls, because girls worldwide are much more comfortable, like, I don't know, hugging, sitting on each other's lap, like holding each other's hands and stuff like this. And you see a lot of this in Korea among friends, among daughter and mother, among like, I don't know, sisters. I don't exactly know, but from like the age range, that's what I was guessing. You can see like a lot of people from the same sex like holding hands in the streets, like not only couples. And you can see also guys doing it a lot. I think they are able to do so because exactly there's no awareness of LGBT. So because if you do this, you're not going to be like called out or outed as being lesbian or gay. For that reason, people are comfortable doing it. And it's actually quite awful to think that the only reason probably we are not comfortable doing these kind of things in the West is because of homophobia. There's also a big difference in the way of thinking of young people and older people. A survey was conducted in 2013 and 71% of people between 18 and 21 thought that LGBT should be accepted, against 60% of people over 50-year-old. So this is something you might also take in consideration, like if you're wondering like who you can come out to, or if you can come out at work or something like this, you might want to analyze like the age range. It also gives quite of an understanding of the issue, because that's why a lot of people they actually don't come to their parents and really scared to do this, because their parents are probably like around 50 in this kind of generation, and it's a really different like way of thinking. Because I feel like it has progressed very fast in Korea. So young people, I mean worldwide it has progressed a lot, and there's probably also a gap if you ask people in the West that are younger against people who are like 50 plus. But there it has grown like even faster. So the difference in the way of thinking might be like even bigger. I haven't like met a lot of like either gay, lesbian. I don't think I even befriend any at all. Mostly because if you've watched my video dating in Korea, you might understand why I couldn't make like any friends from LGBT, but people that I just like talked to briefly or something, I felt like none of them were out. Like a lot of people would like hide a face on the picture and stuff like this. But there still people are very like low-key about it. Homosexuality has never been illegal in Korea. Like in the history of Korea, it's never been like punished or illegal and never really mentioned in the law. But in the military law and during the military service, you get an interview in which you are asked about like your sexualities and stuff like this, and if you are declared or outed as like an homosexual, you might be discharged for having to do the military service, or you might be put in an institution, because it's kind of considered, at least by the military, as like a behavioral or a mental disorder. There is no such thing as same-sex marriage or anything like this. Like, I've heard that there's a law lately that people are trying to pass, but there's kind of like strong political party who are like against it, so we would see later on this year. When it comes to transgender, it's actually possible to have a sex change in Korea, but you have to be 20-year-old at least. There actually have been already a few cases in Korea where people could change their ID and their gender on the ID without having a sex reassignment surgery, which I think is really great. Like, thumbs up Korea, because I don't even know if that is possible in Europe. I met like one transgender woman. We chatted and we like bonded and we like exchanged like numbers and Kakao Talk and etc. And she was like, I was really like impressed and inspired because she was like the owner of like a club that was so successful. I really like to just watch people who are successful because it inspires me. It's like, oh, okay, I can also like achieve my own goal and achieve my own like success that I want to. And she was like so nice and so pretty, and we were like dancing and we were like drinking a little bit and like eating like some fruits at the table. And she couldn't speak like English totally, but then she was like doing a show and she wanted me to be like in a fashion show that she was going to do in the club. But then I had to like go back to Paris, so I couldn't do it. But I was really like happy like to like meet her and like inspired, because my friend told me that she gained that success quite quickly, and in a country like in which it's still like a little bit taboo and it's a little bit like challenging for LGBT to see like people like someone at the head of club. And it was not like a gay club, which wouldn't be bad, but which would be like a little bit more the obvious. It was just like a no gender club. It's called Bardo. If you're going to Seoul, you should like check it out. They also have LGBT like quarter, and I went there. One is in Itaewon, which is like kind of the foreigner friendly area, I would say. It's called Homo Hills, and you can have like a few clubs, a few bars, and I went like down the hills like one night. I used to just walk there like sometimes because it was like there's a lot of energy there. Whereas in my area, besides like the cosmetic shopping and the coffee shop, there's not much like party scene. And I've never really been out, but I still just like walk past there, and then there are like a lot of like prostitutes calling me like in the bar, and I was like, wait honey, do I look like I need to pay for your cookies? Or do you have to pay me for it? And even there, I've never really seen like couple like holding hands or stuff like this. Couples in like Korea are like holding hands, wearing similar clothing and stuff like this. So it was a little bit of a surprise, but I mean, maybe I just haven't seen it. The first Pride in Seoul was in 2000, and the first in Busan was in 2017. So you can see that it's still something quite fresh, but it's still like evolving very quickly. To put it in a nutshell, I would say that if you're going in Korea for like vacation or something, you're probably not going to have that much of problems. And I mean, if you're holding hands to your significant others, people are probably just gonna think you're friends, or they're not gonna be like sure about anything. So this might not be a big of a deal. If you're going there like to like work or to like study, I would say it's a bit of a different question. It still is like a personal choice, so I'm not here like to tell you like how you should live your life or what you should say or not say. But personally, I would think that if I was working like in a formal environment, I probably wouldn't say anything to my colleagues. Colleagues are colleagues. It's work related. You can be friendly with your colleagues and everything, but my private life is not exactly their business. It's called private for certain reasons. So unless I was like married or something like this, then it might come up naturally, but otherwise I would not like dig into my life and like speak it to the colleagues, something like this. But this is like depends of who you are and how you roll. The director of my agency kind of wanted me like to be like very low-key, and I was like, in a way it was very awkward for me, because you probably would have no problem, I think, like finding friends that you can like come out to and with whom you can like speak about it with, I think, and they would have no problem with it, in my opinion. You're not gonna go to jail if you do so. So you might get fired though, although they have like anti-discrimination laws. You never know. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to thumbs up and share it with your friends, with your grandma, with your mom, and everyone, and just spread the words around, if you will. And subscribe to my channel. Keep yourself happy. Janne.